Preparing, 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 preparing. We are live. Welcome to You've Got Mel. Karen Rostoker Gruber, you're back again
Yeah, with a different friend.
with a different friend. And Frog, I hear that you were a little bit heartbroken last time when I interviewed Maria.
Yeah, she's my sister.
Yeah, but is there some kind of sibling rivalry? Because Karen told me that you were a little upset.
Yeah, well, I was hibernating anyway.
You were hibernating anyway? Do frogs hibernate?
Yeah, in the mud.
You hibernate in the mud?
Yeah,
You got to be joking. Who cleans you off after that?
Karen.
Karen cleans you off. Listen, Frog, is it okay if we start with a jingle?
Oh, yeah, I like your jingle.
You do. You can be on my show anytime. I mean, hey, I need friends like Frog.
More times.
Here we go.
Get a chair, grab a seat, or we'll sweep you off your feet. We move, we groove, you got Mel. Ease your legs, rest a while, all you gotta do is smile. We're swell, can't you tell you got Mel? When the show begins, you better hold on real tight, or before you know it, you'll be high as a kite. Take a break, settle down, we're the only show in town. SRO, don't you know you got Mel? Give it up, don't think twice, we're a hurricane on ice. What the hell, give a yell, ring your bell, show and tell. Mademoiselle, give a smell, you got Mel.
You've got Mel.
Get a chair.
Go! And Mel, I always do that. And Mel has Karen Rostoker Gruber, the one with a short name, Frog, the one with a really short name.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
how many?
It's only 4 letters.
It is, you know. What, you can read?
I can read. Look, I got an F.
You got an F. That's not a very good mark in the human world, you know.
But I'm a frog.
And you're only 5 years old. I mean, there's kids who are 5 and can't read yet.
But I've been 5 for 4 years.
Okay. Okay, Frog. So, you know why you are on the show today? What is the special thing that's going to happen in 2 weeks?
Yeah, Passover.
Passover.
Yeah,
And you're a frog who celebrates Passover.
yeah, I have,
Hold on.
I have matzah and everything.
You have matzah. What is it? Whole wheat matzah? It's egg matzah?
It's gluten-free.
It's gluten-free matzah. What frogs are allergic
So I just dropped it, Frog.
Oh, no.
This is Frog's matzah. Wait, can you see it?
Yeah, but you told me it had flies.
Yeah,
So here it is. Here's his fly. Wait, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? Here it is.
Yeah.
yeah, she puts it on the matzah.
Well, and spreads it nice and thin.
Oh, yeah.
And then when we're ready, we
Well,
can
have
we can
a
begin.
trap sandwich.
What kind of sandwich?
A fly trap sandwich. It's bigger than a halal sandwich.
But no bacon, right?
No, it has maror and charoset and flies.
More ancharoset than flies. Oh, flies, you know, are not kosher.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But you know, but so I have a lot of questions to ask you. There is a rumor that you are the first frog in the universe to have written a best-selling children's book based on the Passover Seder.
I didn't write it. Karen and Ron did.
Ah, but you have a major role in it.
I'm a star in it, yeah.
So you think so? Karen wrote it. Karen told me that she consulted with you.
Well, I told her what to do.
It's always like that. So should I ask Karen about the book, or do you want to tell me?
You can ask Karen.
So hi, Karen. Put Frog.
Hi.
Put Frog to sleep for a few minutes.
All right. All right, I'm going to put you down.
Before you put Frog down, I
What
forgot
was
to
that?
ask him something. Aren't frogs supposed to be on the other side?
Well, he doesn't know he's a plague, and actually he finds out in the book.
He finds out he's the second plague?
Yeah, so actually I'll show you so actually here Frog is saying, "Who let the plagues out? Who?
Who?
So this is a real Haggadah, but it's for the family, and Rabbi Ron wrote it. There's actually real prayers, and he goes through the real Seder every part, but there's a wisecracking frog on each page. So here, this is the part of the Seder, when you figure out what's on the Seder plate, and then Frog just says, can a crocus flower be a part of the Seder plate? And then, so there's actually think abouts on every page for the family. There's, the Hebrew and what it's about, and then I'll show you some other stuff. Here's like the prayer over the wine. Like he really has the real things in the Haggadah, but then there's Frog on every page. So here Frog saying, "No one filled my cup." And here's the washing of the hands. And this one says, "Did someone say wash?" And he jumps into the salt water. And then there's also a "did you know?" And there's a game, and there's an answer key. So there's just something fun to do on every page, but it really follows the whole thing. And then like here, we're getting ready to ask the 4 questions, and Frog wants to do it. And he says, "Let me ask the 4 questions. I'll go get my mic." And then he falls through the page and ends up on the other side. So I love working on this. But the really weird thing about this book was I actually had to wait till Rabbi Ron wrote the actual Haggadah, the script, the prayers and everything like that. And then I was just supposed to be the voice of Frog. And then I worked with Ann Kofsky and Dina Neusner at Apples and Honey Press and Barham House. And I was allowed to let Frog do anything he wanted to do as commentary on whatever Ron wrote. And I'll show you some of my favorite part is when they're reading the Passover story and he's running away from Pharaoh's army. And he's just allowed to jump through things and jump through pages. And here's one. Here's a part where they're talking about the Passover story, and Frog over here thinks he says, "Do you see that? Yum, I think it's a fly." And they're talking about the Passover story, so he's sort of interrupting. And then he says, "Yuck, that was a locust." But they're still talking about the Passover story, so he's like interrupting the whole entire time during the Haggadah. But that's what little kids do, and he's 5. So
Yeah, so it's that's incredible. And how did this come about?
So what happened was, I knew you were going to ask me that. So
Yeah, you told me to ask you that, didn't you?
Rabbi Ron.
This is scripted. Hold on a
I
second.
scripted. I know. Rabbi Ron and I worked on Farmer Kobe's Hanukkah match. I wrote the story, and Rabbi Ron wrote the note for families and compassion for animals and welcoming guests. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And after that, we wanted to work with them again. That was Apples and Honey Press. We love working with Apples and Honey Press. It's a very cooperative sort of place where anything goes, and you can just, pretty much give them ideas of what you want to do next. And we said, "We really want to work with you again. What would you like?" And they said, "What we really need is a Haggadah." And so what kind of Haggadah? And I think David Barham said, "We want a Haggadah that sort of has a character that sort of crosses out things and interrupts." And I said, "I could do that." So, but then they wanted me to do it with people, and I don't like working with people because I can't use puns. So I said, "What about an animal?" And they said, "Okay, go home, think about things that, with an animal." So I thought of a cat and a dog, but that didn't really work for them. And then I had a mouse, and that didn't really work for them. So then Dina said, "What about a frog?" Because a frog is a symbol of transformation, just like getting out of Egypt and was a transformation. So I said, that's a great idea. So I went home and I looked in the dictionary, which is what I typically do when I start with a character, and I wrote all these frog puns down. So let's see, on here, there's totally fine, totally awesome, opportunity. Not a lot of these were done, hopscotch, that kind of thing. I wrote them all down on a list. And then actually there's like 5 pages of it. And then what I did was I had to wait till
I love your research, Karen.
well, let's see, this one.
It's a real it's a frogatunity.
Yeah, so then like here's French flies, totally fine, croak, harmonica, then I have fly phone and that kind of thing. So so what happened was I had to wait till Rabbi Ron finished writing the whole Haggadah, and then I was able to, well, then actually my deadline got really tight, and I think I only had 2 weeks to come up with things that Frog could do as a commentary to whatever Ron wrote. So then I just started thinking about what would a 5-year-old say if somebody said this paragraph, or would they be paying attention and maybe they'd see a fly, that turned out to be a locust, or maybe they'd want to run from Pharaoh's army because it's so real for them. So I started, I gave them about 3 things for each page so that they could knock it down to 1, but I had to give them, so here, when they said, we're going to talk about, the Passover story. So I have Frog here. So I told Ann I wanted Frog saying, I like stories, but he's sitting on a whole bunch of pillows like the Princess and the Pea. And then, so I had to tell them to do that. And then like, oh, here it is. Okay. So when they talk about, Pharaoh coming to get them when Moses parts the Red Sea. So here's Frog running away from Pharaoh's army. Can you feel that? The ground is shaking. It's Pharaoh's soldiers. Run! So he's paying attention to the story of Passover, but he's also in his own 5-year-old head trying to save himself. So there's just a lot of things in here. It was really fun to work on this. So
is this the book of yours that was written up in the New York Times?
Yes, this was actually featured in the New York Times. It was written up in School Library Journal. It was written up in the Jewish News, the Baltimore Times. I don't know, it went on and on. There was so many things it was written up in. Then it was just last week until they ran out, number 16 on Amazon. But now I was saying, order it from Ferrum House. They have plenty.
For that in the Facebook we have afterwards, you can add links.
Oh, good.
And
so,
I'm hoping that if people order it today,
yeah, so then they have it
they can get it before Passover.
Exactly. So, it was that kind of stuff. And actually, Ann Kofsky did a beautiful job picking out so many wonderful things. She is amazing. She picked out the background color. It's sort of like an old world sort of brownish color. And then she picked out all the artwork, all the traditional artwork. There's beautiful artwork in here, just like in here, you can see it. I mean, Frog's usually commentating on something, but this one was the finding of Moses. You can see that. It's just beautiful. And the typefaces that she used, well, you can see up here, and the colors, they're just so old world, but vibrant at the same time. And, I think she even drew some of these plagues.
Wow.
So,
So Karen, now's a good time to ask Frog about the ambivalence here of.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me get him again. Hold on. So Frog was hibernating again. He's not supposed to come out till spring, and that's March 21st.
Okay.
A little early for Frog right now. So are you tired?
No.
I would say that this is an early bird appearance, but there's 130 different birds that eat frogs.
That's right.
So maybe that's not the right term.
No, that's not good.
But you eat what?
Flies.
So someone's getting eaten.
So, Frog, here's the thing. Do you know what ambivalence is?
Is it like amphibian?
It's a similar.
They both start with A.
Oh,
It's simile. So ambivalence is like, I'll give you an example. Like on the one hand, you are the protagonist. Here's another difficult word of the this Passover
I'm only
Haggadah.
5.
He's
Yeah,
all-
but you've been 5 for 4 years.
Yeah, but I still don't know those big words.
Okay, so you're the hero of this Passover book.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you're also a villain.
Why?
Well, aren't you the second plague?
Oh yeah, I don't like being a plague.
So how do you run with that? How do you deal with it?
Well, it was a long time ago,
Uh-huh.
so I'm not thinking about it now.
So what kind of things are you thinking about now that Passover is only 2 weeks away? Where are
Well,
you
I
going
have to learn how to sing the Manish Tanakh.
You haven't learned that yet?
he
Can you
forgets
think-
it every year, but actually he has it on fly phone, right?
Oh yeah,
He's been listening to it every day on fly phone, so in 2 weeks probably he'll know it by heart.
yeah,
Can Frog sing?
I can.
So can you sing a few bars or you're
Yeah.
not ready?
Manish Tanakh halayla hazeh nikol halaylo.
Frog's the youngest one at the Seder. Wait, are you?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have a very nice voice for a frog.
Yeah. Well,
Most
sometimes
people
it croaks.
most people have a frog in their throat.
Sometimes I croak. Sometimes I rivet.
So listen, I think it's time to go back to rest for a few minutes and let me talk to Mom.
Aw.
You want to stay?
You'll come back to you.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Let me speak to Mom. And do you consider Karen to be your mom?
Of course. She adopted me
And Maria.
and Maria.
Did she pick you out of all the tadpoles in the pond? How did this work?
I was made.
You were made?
Yeah, by someone in Texas named Charles Howdy.
So you didn't go through the tadpole period in your life?
No, I skipped right past that.
Otherwise, he would have had to made a tadpole puppet, right?
Yeah, that would have been a lot more money.
So before you go back to hibernation, how do you guys split the royalties? There's the two of you, and there's the rabbi.
Right.
What's going on?
Karen pays me in flies.
I
So
thought you
don't
would
get,
say
you
that.
don't get money, right?
No, I don't get money. Oh, and she bought me this.
Ask her to invest in frog coin.
Frog.
I had jewelry and a hat and a shirt, and I had and this.
That's
And-
your yeah.
Look.
He wanted to show you his purple multicolored hands.
It's beautiful. So listen, Frog, before we go back to Mom, I'm writing a book now about a frog,
No.
and I want you to be my critique partner.
Okay.
What do you want to say about his frog book?
I'm sure it's riveting.
Oh, gee, no.
No. Wait, I'll put you down now, okay?
Okay.
Go
Just
down.
a bit.
Just for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Frog doesn't like to be alone.
So, how are you going to celebrate Passover this year, Karen?
So just my parents who have both shots are coming over, and it's probably just going to be me and my husband, Frog, of course, and my parents. So 4 instead of, gosh, we usually have 2 Seders. My mother usually has the first Seder, which is a lot of people. I can't remember how many, maybe 11 or 12, maybe it's 12. And then I usually have the second night with the other side of the family, which is usually around 11 or 12. I can't remember. So now it's 4 plus Frog.
So talk about why is this night different than all other nights?
Because there's a frog at the Seder.
Absolutely.
You know, why is that? Because there's an actual plague.
Exactly.
Uh, so last year was really weird because there was the plague. Then we had hail in like April. And then somewhere in Russia, some truck fell over and something contaminated the water. It looked like blood. It was just, it kept going on and on and on. So this year, if we don't get hail in April and we get out of the plague, we'll be doing okay.
Well, let's hope for better times.
Yeah, let's hope.
So you're going to tell people where they can order the book,
Oh yeah.
the
So I mean,
annotated
yeah.
Passover Haggadah.
So I was going to
Frog.
say that the best place to order it is directly through the publisher at store.barhamhouse.com, or you can go to my website. Can you see this?
Yeah.
At www.karenrostoker-gruber.com.
Okay.
And we'll put a link in. But on my website also is everyone can have a frog at their Seder. There's free downloadable frog coloring pages that they can color and put on a popsicle stick. And then there's also how to make your own frog puppet for your Seder. So, you know, everyone can have a frog at their Seder. So someone can actually be frog at their Seder, which is really fun. You know, maybe an older child that knows how to read so they can pipe in.
And did PJ Library pick up this wonderful thing?
No, this one they didn't. They told me that they don't do Haggadahs. I don't know. But then they came out with their own. So I don't know.
No, because I'm thinking that, you know, maybe religious Jews don't want to have a frog at the Seder. I don't know.
Ah.
Is the rabbi Orthodox? I'm supposing not.
No, he's conservative. So he can have frogs at his Seder, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but not consume them,
Oh, okay.
which I guess is okay for frog.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you know, the fact that Frog talks about his matzah with flies on it, you know, maybe that's a problem.
Yeah, and Karen, also, when Frog grows up and leaves home, please tell him not to, if he's invited for dinner anywhere in France, tell him to beg off.
Oh, no, because they eat frog's legs, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he'd be too happy about that.
No, it's a good thing he's
He's never going to
hibernating.
grow up. He's always going to be 5.
Isn't that wonderful? There was one
He's
saying
like Peter Pan.
yeah, and Peter Pan, also a green character. So, Karen, what are you working on these days?
I'm always working on something.
I know.
But I have a lot of manuscripts that are ready to go out. Currently, I have things with Dina at Apples and Honey Press. We'll see. I don't know. I don't like to jinx things, so I'm not going to tell you what I'm working on, but I can show you, however, let's see if I can show you something funny. Oh, here. So when I was doing when I was going back and talking to Dina about how I wanted to write the Family Frog Haggadah with a frog, I had to come up with little, like,
The what? When
wasn't
you
gonna
wanted
be
to
an
write the
illustrator,
frog,
so-
I didn't catch that.
oh, when I was trying to show Dina how frog would work in the Haggadah, I sort of had to pick a cartoon frog, even though I wasn't going to illustrate it, just to like place him and show her what I could do with it. So here's like a sketch, and I said, "Time flies when you have a fun Haggadah." So I was showing her stuff like this, and here's what let's see. Here's another one. I actually took pictures of real cereal on my computer, and I drew this for her, you know, commentary. Here's commentary on Rabbi Ron's, and it says, "Let me know if you find any flies in your search. I'll be more than happy to eat them. I mean, throw them away for you." And here's some more cereal. You know, I was doing stuff like that because she needed to see how it was going to work. Because she said, "Just pick a frog," and I said, "Okay," but then I had to, you know, do examples. See, look. So let me show you what else I did. Oh, here.
Karen, who came first, the Haggadah or frog?
The Haggadah had to come first.
No, frog who's hibernating.
Well, the Haggadah had to come first because then Frog had to say silly things. So here I have Frog. I drew some frog's legs,
Yeah.
And here he found out he's a plague. So he said, frogs are a plague, I gotta go. And then he spilled wine on the way. So there's like in the Haggadah, in the family of Frog Haggadah, he's spilling things, he's making a matzah mess. I want to show you some other things that are really funny that I couldn't show you before with frog in my hand. So yeah, see here he's making a matzah mess after they talk about eating the matzah. Wait, yeah, here he's making a matzah mess. But then there's also think abouts. There's think abouts on every page. There's another one. And it's just so much fun, you know, for children. And oh, here's Frog being totally obnoxious. He says, I have an idea. Let's pass over this part of the Seder and eat. Because you know kids do that.
Yeah, not only kids, Karen.
Adults, I know. I had to get that in somewhere. And then I had it at a lot of places, but they only let me keep one. And then let's see.
Do we really need this prayer?
What was that?
Do we really need this prayer?
Yeah, do we really need this? And then when they're singing, I got the harmonica in there.
Harmonica?
Harmonica. So he said, they're singing Let My People Go. So it says, hold on, I brought my harmonica. So
It says harmonica?
it says harmonica. And then, well,
That's in the book? That's in the book?
well, out of Frog's mouth, it says harmonica.
We have to talk, but we'll talk offline.
Why, what's wrong with harmonica?
I'll tell you later.
Oh no, okay. And then here, you know, Frog says, Happy Passover, like that. There's just so much, there's just so much in here.
That is so much fun.
It was, but in
Yeah.
order to do it, I had to stay up till 3 o'clock. I would try to go to bed. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I would come up with more frog ideas and I would write them all down on a sticky pads and throw them around my room. And then in the morning, I'd pick them all up. And then I would basically pick out which ones were good, pick up the top 3 and send them to Dina because we were on a really tight deadline. And the illustrator had to have time to illustrate all this stuff. And I don't know, by the time we actually came up with it, it was just, the deadline was so tight. I don't remember why, but I don't remember how it got that tight. But I remember staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning and thinking about frog ideas and just, since I was allowed to do anything, like break the third wall, have him come through pages, jumping away from Pharaoh's army, eating a locust, it was just so much fun. I don't think I've ever had this much fun writing a book. And I didn't really write it. I was just the voice of the cartoon character making commentary. So
In the Jews call this the kibitzer. You were the kibitzer in the book. You were kibitzing.
I was having so much fun. Yeah. And I would love to do another, like, you know, I can't, but I would never want to do another frog Haggadah because I wouldn't want to, you know, redo this. But on the back it says, got grape juice. I did it, you know, like got milk, got grape juice. So I was just that kind of stuff all over the place. And they took something like I would drive down to Apples and Honey Press / Barham House, and I would sit there and tell them about which ones we should use, which ones we shouldn't use, and how I wanted them to be used, and the puns, and they were like, no, not that one. Oh, that one's really good. And we would talk about, it was just such a collaborative sort of process. It was so much fun.
It's incredible. I'm thinking that I can't wait to see how you're going to beat this.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to. It's kind of like one of those once in a lifetime things that you do.
Yeah,
and
yeah. The other thing, Karen, is that the whole idea of the Haggadah is for children to ask questions.
Right.
And it's a wonderful idea to have the frog there to get the things going, you know.
Yeah, and he is asking questions. He's asking if a crocus flower could be part of the Seder plate. There's a lot of questions in there, you know.
Let's bring him back.
Are you going to bring Frog back? Okay, hold on. I have to wake him up every time.
I know, and the thing is that you spook me. Um, I
do you
know
mean?
I know well because I know you've been doing this since you're about 8 years old. But
Yeah.
you're so good at it that I really think I'm talking to that.
Oh, you really think you're talking to Frog?
You are.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't.
So Frog, um, what I didn't understand is who came first, you the frog puppet or the frog in the Haggadah? Which came
What?
first?
What puppet?
You're
Is there a puppet?
Is there? I don't know. Nell said puppet.
Maybe.
excuse
no,
me. The
puppet.
I
You.
like puppets.
No,
Frog.
frog. Sorry. Did you come first, or did the Haggadah with the frog come first?
Haggadah.
So you were adopted after the Haggadah?
Yeah, because
Well, I don't know if Frog wants to answer that. I had to send pictures of Frog to the puppet maker,
huh?
and then the puppet maker made Frog,
Oh. And then I was adopted?
and then you were adopted.
Oh. And then I came in a box.
Frog was
Whatever.
in a box.
Whatever. So you're like
Yeah.
you're a test tube frog.
Uh-oh, he's breaking up. Can you hear what he said, Frog?
No.
I said you're a test tube frog.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Mommy will tell you after the
Actually,
show.
he's more like a foam frog.
Yeah. Is that another F word?
Oh, there's a lot of F words, but yes, that's another F word. Foam, frog, family and frog Haggadah, and freedom.
Yeah. Don't forget freedom.
Don't forget
Yeah,
freedom.
the holiday of freedom. So frog, is there anything that I've forgotten to ask you?
Hey, he's talking in F's.
Yeah, you like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking in frogish.
Frog wants to talk about puppets now.
Yeah. What
Okay.
about puppets?
What about them?
I don't know. You said it.
No, I just asked you if you were a puppet.
I'm not a puppet. I'm a real frog.
Okay.
Are you a puppet?
I
What?
am actually.
What? Why do people ask you that? I don't know.
I'm certainly manipulated, if that's the question.
Ooh.
Karen has a puppet.
Oh, you think we have Dr. Fauci here?
Yeah. So, Dr. Fauci, how did you get on the show?
Dr. Fauci's on every show.
He's a puppet.
Yeah. So you distinguish between him and puppet. I think it's really important to have self-awareness in this world. Of what you're good at and what you're not so good at. What is
I don't know
Karen?
what that
What
is.
is Karen?
Wait, what?
I don't know
Frog.
what self-awareness is.
And maybe it should.
You can
stay
look it
that
up on
way.
your fly phone.
Okay, later.
Okay.
Okay. So, Frog, what is Karen good at? What is she best at?
She's an ideas girl.
Does that mean that she doesn't cook?
She cooks. She doesn't
what-
like to cook,
Oh, don't tell all my secrets.
but you don't.
I don't.
She doesn't like to do the dishwasher.
I don't.
So, who does the dishwasher in your family?
What was that?
Who does the dishwasher in your family?
Karen,
It doesn't mean I like it though.
she gets really mad because if you put the wrong fork in the wrong spot.
Well, because there's big forks and there's small forks, and small forks go with small forks, and big forks go with big forks. I keep telling you that.
Yeah, I forgot.
So, Frog, I'm gonna. We have to go soon. Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about. I have a sticky question for you.
What for?
Your mom, part of her process, ever since I met her, she told me that when she wrote her first book, she had these sticky. What do you call them? The sticky
Sticky
things.
notes.
Yeah, these things. And it seems to me that every book that she writes, she buys about 50 kilograms of sticky notes, right?
Yeah.
So that means that if sticky notes had not been invented,
Oh,
then she would have been doing something else with her life.
she would have just wrote on paper.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
If she wasn't a writer for children, a very successful one, what do you think your mom would be doing?
Playing with puppets. She likes puppets.
Yeah, not real puppets, not people like you.
Yeah.
So, like the Dr. Fauci puppet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well.
Do you want to ask Dr. Fauci something, Frog, about the coronavirus
Well,
or about Passover?
nah.
Here he is. Well, actually, I sort of can't work on Dr. Fauci right now because my right hand is busy doing other things right now. Doing what, Frog?
I don't know.
Frog, why don't you take a schluff for a few minutes?
Okay.
You knew what that was?
Yeah. It means sleep right now.
It has an F in it, so.
What, you want Dr. Fauci to come on?
Yeah, I think that you were kind of prompting me, weren't you?
Oh,
You
with
want-
Dr. Fauci?
Yeah. What do you want
Oh,
to
I
ask?
don't know. Dr. Fauci, would you like to talk to Mel?
Okay.
So, Dr. Fauci, there's a rumor that people got the virus from frogs, not from bats.
No, ferrets.
He said ferrets.
Oh, I heard farts,
He said ferrets.
which is another F word.
Oh, that's true. Wow, there's a lot today.
This has been so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm taking a break from You've Got Mel.
Yeah, how come?
I think I want to learn ventriloquism.
Okay.
Um,
Are you gonna have a Mel puppet?
I might have a malfunction. I don't know. I've interviewed wonderful people, and you were on the show a second time, which is like
Yeah, that was fun. Yay.
yeah, and it happens very rarely, but I think I've interviewed 120 people
Wow.
and 3 puppets.
3 puppets. Wait, there was another puppet person?
No, you had Maria.
Oh, okay. You're including Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, you need a little help from Frog counting, you know.
Right
And,
now.
They say in Hebrew, Ad mea v'esrim. It's time to take a break and regroup and
I
pass
love
over.
you. Your interviews are great.
Yeah, but I have to regroup. And if they were great, it was because of people like you on the show.
Aw.
And I'm so happy to. I can't wait to meet you. We're gonna have to have some relocation.
Well, I do have like I told you, I do have cousins in Israel. So you never know. Once the virus lifts.
I really do want to have a real
Oh, like a reunion?
a reunion of You've Got Mel and other writers here in Israel.
I know that Hannah, you interviewed Hannah. I know that she goes to Israel every year for Passover, but this year and last year she hasn't gone. But I think she goes every year. I'm almost positive. I remember her talking about that. So I know there are a lot of people who want to go to Israel, who can't wait to go to Israel. You know, once this virus lifts, maybe we could all meet you in person.
That would be so great. And if not, in New York
Yeah, that would be great.
or in New Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I can take a bus to New York any day, except for now with the virus. I'm not going anywhere. I like staying in my little house.
Is there anything I haven't asked you, Karen?
I don't know. I can't think of that. What do we have in it? What is this show? How long is it?
It's been over for 5 minutes.
Oh, so I don't know.
No, look, I tell you, nobody told me what to do. Nobody told me how long.
Right. So yeah. And by the way, Dr. Fauci isn't a puppet. He's a note holder. He holds my sticky notes. So like, here's a sticky note right here. I can't do it with, I don't know if you can see. So he holds my sticky notes. See,
Where would you be in this world without sticky notes, dear?
I'd be in big trouble. Well, I used to write on just regular paper, like Frog said, but I love sticky notes. I think I keep them in business pretty much. I mean, I don't know if you can't see my table. It's covered with sticky notes. There's sticky notes all over my computer. There's
I
sticky
think I
notes.
think I think you have a story there, you know?
I think I have an obsession, is what I have.
The day that sticky notes died.
Yeah, I think actually, they should pay me for talking about sticky notes. Is what they should do.
Did we talk about your OCD in the last show?
I don't have OCD.
That's what
I
people
do have, sticky. I have a sticky note habit.
you have a sticky
So if
note.
they're
that
gonna
didn't-
give
I did-
out, like, if there was an AAA for sticky notes, I think
No,
I'd
but
be
I mean,
like, what is
when I-
Sticky Notes
when I-
Anonymous? I'd have to go to SA, Sticky Notes Anonymous.
Absolutely. Uh, when I was a kid, I used to wash my hands 7 times. But
Oh
when people would ask me, I would say, but now they're really clean.
no, not really clean. Well, now actually everybody washes their hands like 7 times, so you're in the norm.
Everything that happened this year, I used to have agoraphobia, so I could stay at home this year. I didn't have to get on planes,
Yeah.
drink my gallon of whiskey. So from several points of view, for us Mishigoyim, it wasn't such a bad year.
Actually, you know what, to be honest, I don't mind not being on planes right now. Yesterday, a couple of days ago, I had a Zoom reading in California, had one in India, I had one in Germany, I had one a lot of in New Jersey, New York, but I don't have to go anywhere. I literally get out of my bed, go to my computer. I don't have to pack up my show at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore and get lost driving, which I really hate, and setting up at a school and making sure the mics work and all that kind of stuff. And then doing 3 presentations and then going home, or taking a plane, or eating by myself at a I don't know, at a restaurant because I have a show the next day, or I just literally walk out of my room and come to my computer. It's so liberating, and it's so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper. It's an eighth of what I usually charge, for school visits. So it's just a lot cheaper, and it's more efficient, I think. You're not spending money on traveling, and there's just so much wasted time.
So,
And I know that, when I used to drive to work, when I had a 45-minute commute, I think we talked about this once before.
that's how you wrote your
My
book.
car. Right. So I write in my car.
Like this book, Why Men Are Not
Yeah.
as Good as Diapers or something.
If men had babies and remote controls are better than women, but I write in my car, so I try to use up every, if there's a spot of time where I feel it's wasted and I'm sitting in traffic, my mind goes to other things, and it will, and I have sticky notes in my car, and I fling them around my car, and I write down ideas, and then when I get to my destination, I pick them up and I take them home, and the next morning I compile them and write a book. But I sitting in traffic is such a waste of time for me, so this is so great. Anyway, but I'm sad that you're gonna leave it. You've got
Well,
now.
I'll tell you what happened. I was so happy to book you, and then I looked in my diary and I don't have any bookings coming.
Oh no.
And I figure that maybe I need to take a respite or a hiatus or another fancy word.
Maybe you can hibernate till the spring.
Maybe I'll hibernate and maybe Frog will help me. But
Yeah, maybe.
but this is I have an offer to go around to different parks in Ramat Gan and tell my stories on weekdays. And
Oh.
if this happens, I don't want to be encumbered by the You've Got Mail.
Right, I gotcha.
And also I have to go back to, I've been, well, the wonderful thing that happened is that I really interviewed really wonderful writers like you. And I learned so much. And now I have to spend more time improving my own manuscripts
Got
and
it.
trying to get out there. So, like, I was kind of, what's the word in English? I was like living vicariously through people
Okay.
like you and Maria and Frog, and living your success as a writer together with you. And then I would get off and I would say, yeah, but it ain't you, babe. It's them. They're the ones who are publishing with all these wonderful agents and Apple and Honey and Ich
I
weiß.
don't have an agent.
It's okay. But you have a great career. You've sold over 500,000 books.
True.
Okay, and I mean, I had a
Now,
good.
writing is kind of like a disease. You sell one book and then you want more books, and it's just never enough for some reason. The just opening that box when you get the box of books, it like feeds your energy for another whole year. I can't even explain it. There's just something about publishing, as hard as it is, and there's so much disappointment. And it's like a roller coaster half the time. You know, one day you wake up, you get rejection letters. Another day you wake up and you get a please rewrite this book. And you're always, hoping and hoping that someone's going to call you up, another editor, and say, can you rewrite this? And I want it to go this way or whatever, and negotiating a contract and all that kind of stuff. There's just something about book writing. I don't know what it is, that I just want to keep doing it and doing it and doing it, even though I don't want to sometimes, because it's so
Yeah.
frustrating. And the waiting
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
long.
Karen, I'm worse than you because I left a successful career to do
You
this.
you were a scientist, right?
I was a scientist, and now
Yeah.
I'm a frustrated, multi-rejected author wannabe. And
You know what? We all get I just got 2 rejection letters this week. I get so many rejection
I
letters.
get one a day, dear.
What was that?
I get one a day.
You get I mean, I'm on this show right now and I can tell you that I probably got a rejection letter already.
I would never reject you. Um, but you're right. Writing is a disease. I call it like an itch and scratch.
Mm,
You write because you have this itch to write and you scratch it. It's like psoriasis. It's like psoriasis of the spirit.
maybe.
But it keeps us vibrant and happy and funny.
Yeah.
And
Just wide awake at 3 o'clock in the morning.
and as Julie Headland taught me on the show, even when you're rejected, you're still on a journey and you change as a result, and that's true.
Right. And sometimes the rejection letters, you're on the right path if you get what I put it in my oxymoron rejection letter binder, a really good rejection letter that actually talks about your story instead of a form letter. So if I get a rejection letter like that, it goes into my oxymoron rejection letter binder. So when I get upset about, not publishing another book or something like that, I go into my oxymoron rejection letter binder and read about all the wonderful things that editors have said about my books or my writing. And, it feeds me for another day.
I eat chocolate.
And I love chocolate.
I have my rejection chocolate.
Yeah, so my rejection chocolate used to be Raisinets and potato chips. Well, it has to be with potato chips. But now I can't eat milk products anymore, so it's Junior Mints now, or
One
those
second, you
chocolate.
eat chocolate and potato chips together?
Well, I love the combination of chocolate and potato chips. Well, it doesn't work very well with Junior Mints, but it used to work really well with Raisinets and like Ruffles. It's that crunch, but now I can only eat chocolate jelly rings, which I have no problem with, and Junior Mints, because both of those, they don't have milk in them.
Okay, so I have a secret for you. There's a lot of bitter chocolate that gives you a real rush,
Oh,
and it doesn't have any milk in it.
oh, is it sweet though?
Well, it depends.
Is it bittersweet or just bitter?
Well, the 70% is somewhat sweet, and the 90%
Okay.
is
What
not.
is it? What is it? I have to write it down.
Well, Strauss Elite has the selected series, and it's kosher, and it's kosher for Passover.
Right.
Many of them don't have any milk in them.
Well, that's true.
We're still on the show. People are just watching us talk.
No, I know. We're just talking about chocolate. Well, chocolate is my one weakness. It was. And for some reason, a lot of my books feature food because I'm eating while I'm writing, which isn't very good. like I'll show you this one. Food Fright is all about food. And in Rooster Can Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, he's drinking tea, chamomile tea. And Farmer Kobe's Hanukkah match has falafel, limonana, baba ganoush in it. It's always something. There's always food in my book. In all of my books, I think there's food, except for Maddie the Mitzvah Clown is the only one that doesn't have food. Frog, of course, has all the Seder foods, the Harosis, the maror, all that kind of stuff. And, but I'm looking, Bandit and Bandit Surprise, they have tasty minced clams. And Ferret Fun has raisins and treats. And I'm looking at all my books and they all have food. And it's probably because while I'm writing, I have my.
I was going to say you're on a roll.
Well, I have potato chips here. What?
I was going to say you're on a roll, but that's a very bad pun. Karen, it's so much fun. I'm happy to speak to you anytime. But probably maybe 1.5 people are watching us now.
Yeah, I mean, Once.
But listen, stay in touch. And I will always be there for my interviewees until we meet in person.
Aw. Yeah, and if you ever have another one of those gatherings, let me know. I'm sorry I couldn't come to the other one. I think I had like a Zoom thing.
So you know what? I'm going to now confer with you. You'll be my co-organizer of the next gathering.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Thank you very much for having me on the show. And
I had you twice on the show.
Twice on. Thank you very much for having me twice on the show.
And thank you, Karen Rostoker Gruber, the one and only.
Oh, thank you.
Keep up the wonderful work, dear. So great to
Thanks,
speak.
Phil.
Bye.
Bye.